Well, we have a viewer from St. Paul. Emily wants to talk about environmental issues. Wants the panel to discuss recent proposals to lower Minnesota's water pollution control standards and requiring cost-benefit analysis of MPCA recommendations. I'm not sure that this is in proposed bill form, but there has been some discussion about this. Anyone want to take a run at the environmental question?
We heard a couple bills this morning, and we'll hear them again Tuesday in the House Environment Natural Resource Committee. And certainly the proposals that are out there look at the cost-benefit analysis, and that's something I believe that we can revisit and need to revisit from time to time. Are we doing it right? And it was brought up about, I'm recalling some committee discussion here, was brought up about we need to consider the cumulative impacts of what costs are to cities particularly, and there's some wastewater treatment plant standards that are probably going to be recommended to be more stringent. And I think we should take a look at all of that. As we look at cumulative cost to cities, we need to also look at the cumulative impacts that what we're putting into the environment has on that environment, and to talk about the ecosystems that we're discharging waters into. One of the things that we talked about in committee, we had a gentleman, don't recall his name, from Mankato. I want to say city manager, but that's probably not right. But he was from Mankato, and he was talking about the fact that Mankato was, and he was proud of it, and rightly so, a step ahead, and maybe Mankato was meeting a phosphorus standard that is below what the state 1.0 milligram per liter total phosphorus standard is right now, and I had to challenge him on that a little bit because, 1984, 31 years ago, the city of Bemidji put in a state-of-the-art treatment plant, and we're mandated to do 0.3, and he said he thought they were doing 0.3, and I said, well, our treatment plant guys and gals are doing somewhere between 0.1 and 0.2, and this was brought about because the lakes up in our area were going from a walleye ecosystem to a bullhead ecosystem, and as much as some like bullheads, we like walleye up there. So you change the ecosystem if you put too much nutrient pollution in it. So I think the discussion will be a good one. I don't expect that we're going to change anything too far, too fast. Talk about peer review. Peer review is done now on an independent basis of literature that we use in science. But let's have the discussion.
We have more water than any other state, and it's a greater challenge, therefore, for us to maintain the high quality that we expect to have. I do get concerned about the permitting times and what is entailed in that, and the impact it has on agriculture and business, but it's a very delicate balance that we have to deal with because of the high standards that we should have, because we have more water.
Senator Sharon, you want to defend Mankato or not?
Well, Mankato is, it is true. We have fabulous, we have met very high standards, above the expectations. But from a city's perspective, I remember from being on the city council, and I hear, of course, from city legislators as well, is that the costs to municipalities to make the improvements to the wastewater treatment plant to meet standards when they are increased is substantial. And that's, of course, passed on in terms of water charges to the users in the cities that they serve. So they're asking that it be clearly demonstrated that if you're required to meet a certain standard, that it does demonstrate, in fact, that a value is added before they're required to expend all those resources in their treatment plants. But I agree with Representative Erdahl. One of the great things about our state is that we have a lot of various water responsibilities, and that does mean that we have a different responsibility in relationship to how we use that water, how much we use, how we return that water to its sources, how we develop systems to protect those waterways. And I do believe that we have to balance our utilization needs and the cost of utilization against the protection responsibilities we have for water.
Yeah, one of the things that we have failed at, in my opinion, and many times our regulatory agencies have failed, is considering the economic cost that exists with respect to regulation. And when you talk to people in private industry, now, I work in the service sector, so I don't make things that cause pollution, possibly some noise pollution we lawyers make. But if you talk to people in the industries that are affected by these regulations, it is a huge cost driver. And let's not forget that when our products cost more, our water costs more, it disproportionately impacts middle and lower income people. So we've done a great job of cleaning up America. I hearken back to the dark cloud of pollution hanging over Los Angeles back in the 70s that really doesn't exist anymore. And those are all good things, but there does come a point where we have to ask ourselves, is the marginal improvement, a tiny bit of improvement maybe in our pollution standards worth the cost that we're imposing on business or imposing on municipalities? And the question is right. We absolutely have to look at that.